Yeah, we definitely blew part of our grocery budget this week. And I know why, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Hello everyone, welcome back to another debt-free diary video. My husband and I are working to pay off our remaining $85,000 in debt. I hope you all are having a great weekend. This weekend we had a few things going on. Saturday we went to a surprise birthday party for a relative on my husband's side, and then on Sunday, today when the video is coming out, yeah, I don't think we're gonna do anything. I think we're just gonna sit and do nothing, because we're feeling a little peopled out, so I think that'll be just fine. What has everyone else been up to? How was your weekend so far? Also, I think I misspoke in my video last week. I think we're actually over budget that week and then under budget this week. I originally talked about that we had spent gosh, now I don't remember what it was. I thought I wrote it down. We were supposed to be under our $162.50. We'd actually spent $213.36. So I'm not sure what I missed. I think maybe I lost a receipt or two. Or like when I was tracking things in my tracker, I think I just left something out. So that was my bad. So going into the second week, I thought we were already over budget by like $50. We're currently trying to split our total grocery bill into like 4 separate weeks, which equals $162.50 per week. I think it was $650 for the month, and we just kind of break it up. We break it up that way because what am I trying to say? It's a little bit easier for us to manage mentally, because we don't like grocery shopping, and it's sometimes hard to come up with food that we want to eat throughout the week. And we're like, what do we want to make this week? And it's just it's a process. So we just break it up weekly to make it a little bit easier. I'd like to get to a point where we can shop for 2 weeks worth, and if we need something fresh, we'll just go that day and go get it. So maybe that would be something that we can work toward. But other than that, we're planning on just keeping it at shopping week by week. So I thought we only had about $50 left in our budget. We were really $50 over. So all my math has been thrown off, so I'm not really sure where we stood on that. But for, let's see, Mother's Day, which was on the 10th, we had get-togethers on Saturday and Sunday. So on Saturday we had a get-together with my in-laws, my mother-in-law. We spent time with her, and my husband wanted to make a dip. We spent we spent $30 on ingredients to make this dip. That was insane. So we were fed there, so we had a big lunch and then didn't have any dinner. And then on Sunday we went to my folks' house and we had a lunch there. We've also brought chips and cookies as a side for the food. And that same day we also went to the store and we spent we spent $80 on chips, cookies, cereal, and soda. So that was a big chunk of our budget that day. So over the weekend we had lunch, didn't eat dinner because we were so full. On Monday we also had some leftovers. We ate some of that leftover dip that we had. And then Tuesday, my husband made a fish soup, and he also needed a few ingredients for that. We had leftover tilapia from last week, but he also purchased crab meat, and there was some other meat that he got, and a few other extra ingredients. So we had that. And I unfortunately do not have what the amount that he spent on that, because receipts got lost, and I wanted to break it down and figure out what all we had, but you know, I didn't have those receipts. But that I imagine that was probably $40 to $50 worth. And then for lunch all week, I've been eating peanut butter and jelly for work at lunch. Tuesday through Thursday, we had the leftover soup. And then on Friday, we had frozen pizzas. So the biggest reason we went over on our grocery budget, I'm not really surprised. I think it was a big contributor to all the soda that we purchased. We spent, like I said, about $81 on soda, cereal, chips, cookies, and probably something else that day. I have a receipt somewhere, but yeah. The soda was on sale, and it seemed like a good idea at the time, but I saw the budget, and it was not good for our budget. My favorite soda is Dr. Pepper, by the way. Looking back at the receipts, we also had some little treats thrown in there, like pudding, random pieces of random candy bars. Those types of things probably didn't help with our budget too terribly much. But yeah, looking back, we could have definitely done better with all of that and how all of that worked. But I did get some good news this week. The office rent that we were having to pay every month, we don't have to pay that anymore, because we paid the last payment on Friday. So we don't have to do that anymore, so that'll be another $750 that we get to keep now. I think our current budget is over budget by almost $500. So we're having to make sure that we have, which is why I'm trying to keep strict to the budget, because we just don't have that extra money. So if we do go over or if we can't afford something, we'll just get out of our savings account. I would rather not get out of our savings account, but that's where we are right now. So we are officially done with this stupid office rent. I am so excited for that. That's going to help our budget tremendously. I can't wait. So overall, if I've done the math right, for the first 2 weeks of the month, we are currently over budget by $47.32. Which means we're going to have to make up for it in the second half of the month. So starting with week 3, we're going to have to keep it. I can't talk today. We're going to have to spend about $80 to keep on track. So, with that said, I want to do a quick budget with me so you guys can see how I kind of plan things out. So here's my calendar. I have everything laid out, and usually I'll look at my calendar, figure out what's coming up. So week 3 is, 17th through the 23rd, and I'll write it all out. Get here. Okay, so typically I'll look up my bank account information, and I kind of pre-looked it up. So we had payday on Friday, and office rent is coming out. So after payday and the office rent and what was left in our bank account from before, we should have about $2,991.44. Now all the expenses coming out of the account, we have I didn't write it down here, a student loan payment coming. It's $100. See, should I write these down? Here's our expenses. Sorry, that's terrible writing, and I hope you guys can see this, and I'm really sorry if you can't. I'm still trying to figure out my setup here. So we have a student loan payment. We have, pretty sure this is Netflix. And then car insurance. There's an app that we pay for. And the groomer I think usually runs about $150. So as long as we're around $150, we should be okay. And then I think that was it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yes. So those are our expenses. And then if we keep, let's see. Let's see, groceries, I think we'll have to keep it at $80 for gas. No, groceries. And then gas for the both of us for the week is $85. We'll see if we can make that work. I don't know if we'll be able to or not. So with all of those expenses, let me grab my calculator. Okay, just ignore all of that stuff. So if we take student loans, nope. Minus 3 car insurance, that, the dogs, groceries, gas. So after all of that, we should be left with that much money, just a little over $2,000. And then we will need to have money available for our rent. So if we take out rent, whoa, what'd I do here? Minus. Okay, so minus rent, it's about $1,450, give or take. So then we'll have $657. That's actually pretty good, and I think that's because my last paycheck was more than I anticipated. And so if my last paycheck was higher than anticipated, it was about $300 more. Why do I have so much left? I'll have to look back at it because now I feel like I've done something wrong. And I love coming to the realization while I'm trying to make a video. Because in the app that I have, it always says that we're over budget, and I know why it says we're over budget, because the budget app I use, for some reason it has a higher, it thinks I'm making a higher debt payment than I am, because we can't afford the higher debt payment, and I can't delete it for some reason. It's been really weird about it. So I just kind of ignore it and just go based off of how much money I have and just try to level it out this way. So I may have to go through this again and just double check everything, because this says we have almost, that's $650 extra that we're not even using, which is phenomenal because we can increase our grocery budget and our gas budget and increase, we can throw in some fun stuff next time, especially with the money that we're going to be saving on the office rent that we'll no longer have to pay for. Plus, I'm getting a third paycheck at the end of the month. So I feel like there's a lot of possibility here now with everything. So we'll just have to see how next month goes. Plus, I'm holding on to. I'm sitting on some money from when I worked my pizza job, just in case things were kind of rocky between me leaving that job and my husband's career. So I'm hoping to make a payment with that money too, so we can get rid of our next student loan. But I've been kind of holding off on it for a while and just doing the minimums. But I'm really tired of watching those loans grow. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. It looks like I'm gonna have some extra money to throw at either debt or toward the groceries, since apparently we're doing very well on that. So stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.